Black markets kids ran in their schools. When this kid was in middle school, he would make these things all the time. They were called paper wasps. These folded pieces of paper you put in a rubber band and you shoot them at people. Well, this kid would occasionally sneak up on his friends and attack them with his paper wasps. And yes, they hurt very bad. But nobody ever got back at him because for some reason, his paper wasps were far superior than anybody else's. So this kid got an idea. He started making tons and tons of paper wasps. His secret in making his paper wasps was using the right amount of paper. And after it was done and folded, he would staple the tip. The staple was used solely to increase pain on impact. Well, business was absolutely booming. The kid was pretty much an arms dealer at his school. Eventually, because of his business, full-blown battles were happening throughout the school day every single day. He was eventually shut down, but in total, he made over $400. When this dude was in 7th grade, there was a kid in his class named Lucas, and Lucas was a menace. He bullied people, threw stuff across the room, caused ruckus, and he'd never got in trouble. Or if he did, he just didn't care. Well, one day during class, Lucas grabbed this kid's backpack and dumped everything on the floor. Oops, looks like you gotta pick that up. The teacher looked up, sighed, and then went back to her book. Well, the kid was furious. Miss, are you really not gonna do anything about this? I mean, I could punish him, but he doesn't care. He'll just do it again tomorrow. It's not worth my time. The whole class was shocked. Lucas smirked. See? She doesn't care what I do. Actually, I don't care what any of you do. She then closed her book, walked to the door, and left the classroom. But right before she left, she looked at the kid that Lucas had been bullying, and she gave a very tiny wink. She closed the door behind her. The class sat in stunned silence. But the person that the teacher winked at knew what that meant. He stood up. Then another kid. And then another, until half the classroom was standing up looking at Lucas. So, she doesn't care what any of us do, huh? Lucas's smirk disappeared. Guys? Nah. No teacher, no rules. Remember last week when you dumped my lunch on the floor? And when you took my homework and ripped it up? And when you called me and my brother an idiot? Looks like it's our turn now, Lucas. Lucas was pale, and the entire class slowly moved in on him. And when the teacher finally came back in, Lucas was huddling in a corner, shaking. She smiled. So, what happened when I was gone? Nobody said a word. That's what I thought. From that day forward, Lucas started being much nicer to his classmates. I wonder why. At this school, snacks were allowed, but certain snacks were banned, like hot Cheetos, Takis, and anything sour. And the school wasn't joking about this either. If you get caught with them, that was a detention immediately. Is this Sour Patch Kids? Yes? Detention! So them being this illegal made kids want them more. So one kid's sitting back, looking at the situation, he's like, okay, so these snacks are basically illegal, but everybody wants them. And he commits. He goes to the store, and his bedroom becomes a storage. Boxes, drawers, bags, all full of these banned snacks. Every morning, he would grab a small handbag, nothing too crazy, and he would put a bunch of these snacks in there. He would then take it to school. And he's not selling openly. He's being very discreet about this. Between classes, quick handoffs, and it blows up. People are nervous buying them. Hey bro, let me get some Takis and sour gummies. Got you. Everybody's paranoid. So he makes it very clear. Every time he does a sale, he says this: if you're caught with this, that's on you. If you snitch, that's a whole different issue. And standing by him every single time is his best friend. Big buff dude. He never talked much. If you snitch, he'll find you and he'll get you. Yeah, and nobody snitched. For a while, one kid did, and he wasn't caught with candy or in the act of buying it. He snitched because he was petty. He was jealous of this kid's business and he wanted to shut it down himself, so he did. And there was a huge investigation launched, and that kid who started this business was expelled. That's too much. This would happen across the school every single day. Different classrooms, different floors, but every day at exactly 12:17 p.m. Can I use the bathroom? 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 Nothing suspicious. Not really a pattern that these teachers could put together very easily because, like I said, they were each in a different classroom. But here's what nobody knew. At the far end of the school, in the quiet bathroom nobody ever uses, these kids would go and run full-blown underground Beyblade battles. Every day after they released from the classroom, they would sprint to this bathroom. And when they would get there, they would let it frickin' rip. They had a few of those classic plastic Beyblade arenas, and they were just going to town. They would put money on it as well. Come on, I got 20 bucks on this. You're totally gonna lose, bro. Milk! Doesn't that sound frickin' awesome? They had a blast. I would love this. Well, more and more people were kind of told about this, and more students began joining. And eventually it became this kind of thing. They were caught and shut down forever. But nobody forgot about that. The random bathroom Beyblade battles at 12:17 p.m. every day. That's awesome. He got detention on his birthday. No! So apparently he was talking back to a teacher, and the teacher gave him after school detention today. But it's my birthday. I don't care. So it was after school. He was in detention, sitting there, sad. He was supposed to be hanging out with his friends. This sucks so bad. But then the detention room door busted open, and his 5 best friends walked in. Hey, yo, happy birthday, bro. What's up, brother? Happy birthday, man. Yo, what? The detention teacher was like, hey, you guys can't be in here. It's his birthday, man. Come on. One friend brought in cupcakes, soda, balloons, and they passed cupcakes and soda out to everybody in the classroom, even the teacher. Oh, thank you. Hey, we get a cupcake too. Of course, man, enjoy. This party's for everybody. And then they sang to their friend. Happy birthday to you. I blow out your candle, bro. And for the rest of the detention period, they were listening to music, eating cupcakes, and the teacher that tried to shut it down at first ordered a frickin' pizza. And by the end, nobody wanted to leave. You know what? There's still some pizza left and some soda. 20 more minutes, huh? Hey, nice. Honestly, best birthday ever. That's frickin' awesome. When he was 10, his grandpa asked him, what do you want for your birthday? And he says, a brick. A brick? Why? Because my parents still have this super old TV. If I throw a brick at the TV, we'll have to get a new one. Oh, I'm just kidding. Maybe just some Pokemon cards or something. The grandpa just smiles and nods. A couple months later, this kid's birthday comes around, and there's a beautifully wrapped present on the table. Heavy, perfect corners. The kid opens it. Inside was a single brick. The grandpa's losing it. You're crazy. I can't believe you remembered. And the grandpa leans in and says real quiet to him, wait till your mom's in the kitchen and then waste the TV. So the kid's mom goes into the kitchen to grab the cake. The kid takes the brick, smashes it in the TV. TV is destroyed. What happened here? Now we gotta get a new TV. Yes. The grandpa took the blame for throwing the brick at the TV. I don't know why I did that. Then the kid says, it's okay, Mom, please don't be mad at Grandpa. I'll help you pick out the new TV. Okay, fine, you're right. It's okay, Pops. You'll be okay. Just sit down and relax. I'll clean this up. The mom then leaves to grab the broom. Nice work, kid. I love you, Grandpa. What a nice story. He rarely talks. He doesn't ask questions. He just fixes stuff. Every school's got that one person who just handles everything. At this school, it was the janitor. He was a quiet dude, always wore the same faded button-up. He never ran, never seemed to be in a rush. He just walked around like he had all the time in the world. But somehow, whenever something went wrong, he was always there. Locker jammed, you'd turn around and he'd be there already, crouching down with some tools. Happens when it rains. You're good to go. Popping it open in 2 seconds. Projector broke during a presentation. Teacher's panicking, and from the back of the room, mind if I take a look? Vending machine eats your dollar. He doesn't even ask. He just walks up, slaps the machine, and boom, there's your chips. Walks away. Like a freaking legend. Like I said, he was quiet and he barely talked, but he always showed up at the exact right moment. One time, a kid twisted their ankle during gym class, and the gym teacher was freaking out. 15 seconds later, here he comes with an ice pack and a rolly office chair. Have a seat right here. Put this on your ankle. Mr. Stevens, I'm rolling him to the nurse's office. Okay, you guys have a great class. Come on. He wasn't nosy. He didn't snitch on anybody. He, just fixed things. And when someone would say thank you, he would just nod and say, that's what I'm here for. Best janitor ever. This is the best senior prank of all time. So at this one high school, nobody knew what the senior prank was gonna be. Usually there's a warning or like someone's leaked it, but this year nothing. But right after second period, the school's front door opens and enters a mariachi band. 5 guys, full suits, giant instruments, and they start following the principal everywhere. It's kinda awesome. He's just walking normal, like checking things out. He's doing his job. He walks into a classroom mid-session, the band follows him in, the kids love it. By lunch, it's a full event. Kids got their phones out, they're filming him, they're following him around the hallways like a freaking parade, and the principal is eating this up. He thinks it's absolutely hilarious. And at the end of the day, the band leaves. And that was it. And nobody got in trouble because, let's be real, that was awesome. Like I said, brilliant senior prank. The legendary substitute. It was last period, 90 minutes long, and this class's teacher was out for 2 days, so a sub came in to cover both. The first thing he said when he came in was this: "Alright students, this class is different. You will decide what we do tomorrow yourselves. Whatever you all agree on unanimously, I will make happen." And the class starts whispering, wait, like anything? Anything, but every single one of you has to agree on it. So for the next hour and a half, the entire class was working like a group project. They debated, argued, bargained, and by the end, they had a full plan. The first 15 minutes, they wanted music playing and they wanted snacks. Then, a movie of their choice. They chose Shrek 2. And with the movie, they wanted soda and pizza. And not like one slice each. They wanted enough pizza so everyone could get stuffed. And the sub just nodded. Alright, tomorrow, it's done. And the next day, the classroom was a frickin' vibe. Pizza boxes stacked high, music, Shrek 2, kids with food comas in every desk. It was the only time the entire class agreed on something, and it was the last time that sub ever taught at that school. So this one dude in this one class was huge. Tall, wide, and the way he would eat food was an operation. I know what I like. He would show up to class with a full row of cookies, 20-something, and he would stack them perfectly on one side of his desk. Then the system began. He would take one bite from the top cookie and put it to the right side of his desk. The next cookie, one bite, then on top of the cookie that's on the right side of his desk. Then the next, then the next, down the entire row. Each cookie with exactly one bite out of it, stacked on top of each other. When the whole tower has migrated to the right side, he didn't stop. He would just restart the cycle. A new bite off the top cookie moved to the left side of the desk. Then the other one. A new bite, then stacked on top of the cookie on the left side of the desk. Do you get what I'm saying here? Cookie, bite, stack, and he keeps restarting this process. Well, 15 minutes of rhythmic biting and stacking later, the entire tower of cookies was just gone. Desk wiped clean, 0 crumbs, like it never happened in the first place. And obviously, everyone in class saw him do this, but it was so strange and so weird that nobody ever said anything to him. That's nuts.